Hi, welcome to Siena. I'm Giulia here with Siena Info and Tours and Place2B Siena to explain you some other part of our history and of our territory, this beautiful city. We are, as you can see, in the center of city life of Siena. A lot of people is passing by and going to have some aperitif, maybe in Piazza del Campo. And this is the movida of the city, but a lot of history is hidden in places where you can never imagine, maybe places that you pass by and you give no attention. We are in the center of the Middle Ages, and I'm showing you these two towers, these two twin towers. They were built by a very important family in the early Middle Ages in town, the Montanini family. They give the name of this part of the street. There was the Francigena Road. They had the control of this part of the Francigena because they had not two towers, but four towers, two here and two in the other part of the street, controlling people passing by there. And you see here, it's like the walls has been never finished because there was an arch here connecting these two towers of the same family, so they could pass from a building to another without going down to the street. And these were defensive towers. You see there's no entrance down there. They entered from the first floor because in case of attack they could take up the wooden ladder and stay safe in this territory, in their territory, because it was a proper castle. Do you remember the Jugurgeri castle that I told you the last video? There was one here of the Malavolti family, the Montanini family, and another one up there of the Malavolti family. So they were one near another. The Malavolti family was very important in town. They had the property of all these huge square that you see in front of the street. And it was not so slight. There was a proper hill up there that's been lowered during the centuries. Its name was Poggio Malavolti, so the hill of the Malavolti family. They owned the old hill. It was a very important family, and maybe the most important people in this family was the bishop Donus Deo Malavolti. Donus Deo is a name that comes from Latin. It means the gift to God, because it was given to God as a priest and then bishop. And he was a very tough guy, because as a bishop he was very good, but he was part of the Malavolti family, and they had an enemy. The enemy was the Piccolomini family. So he was accused to have ordered an attack against a member of the Piccolomini family, and it was true. We have the documents, the testimony of this. So the bishopship was a kind of power man, not just religious one like it is now. We have to consider that the bishops were the counts in the early Middle Ages of the city, and then the Republic of Siena became an independent commune, an independent town. But from the Middle Ages we have to pass by centuries later, because in the 1625 the city was still part of the Grand Duchy of Tuscany, so we were under the control of the Medici family from Florence. Ferdinand II ordered the bank, here there's the headquarters of the Monte dei Paschi di Siena, ordered the bank to be not only a Monte di Pietà, just an institution created to help the poor, but a proper bank, a bank as we intended now, as a financial institute. So in 1625, the bank became a proper bank, and these were the headquarters. They some centuries later they bought also these two palaces, as Ottavia told you in her beautiful video. This palace, the Tantucci, was built by a family that came from the Monte Pulciano, so from the Val di Chiana, and is very important, so you can easily recognize this style, is Mannerist style, because 3 centuries later, in 1925, the Monte dei Paschi di Siena wanted to recognize this anniversary. they became the commitments of a new fountain. And it was the first fountain in town to be built just for pleasure, not for use it, because as you know by my video on Fonte Gaia in Piazza del Campo about the bottini, that water is so important in Siena, is so precious. You cannot spare it in the place with water like in Florence, or fountains, or something that is just for pleasure and to embellish the city. The fountains were something to be used by animals, by men, to wash your clothes and so on. But this fountain, and you can easily recognize the same style they wanted to use, was commissioned by the Monte dei Paschi di Siena. High above you can see Montis Pascorum and the date, so 1925, from the Monte dei Paschi. So the same, it was the 3rd century anniversary of this foundation of the bank. The fountain was realized by Fulvio Corsini, one of the most important sculptors in Siena in these times, and it's been realized in travertino, marble stone and bronze. We go near to see it because it's beautiful. And it's pretty unknown even from the Sienese. You can see here, there's a beautiful lady breastfeeding some children, and it's a reminder to Jacopo della Quercia, to its beautiful statues of Acca Larentia and Rea Silvia in Piazza del Campo. So it's abundance, it's just charity of the bank. And you can see these two figures. This man has just been almost dead because he has you see the animal just around his neck, so it's something like usury. And to avoid usury, the bank is just here for you. That's the message that they wanted to pass. This fountain is closing a door, the door of a very old church, the Church of San Donato, that was here in the Middle Ages, where the Malavolti and the Montanini were there to control the street. Here there was a parish church, the Church of San Donato, that was not consecrated anymore and became a stable, actually. Then the bank bought it and closed the entrance. And now you can get in by the Monte dei Paschi di Siena. It's a beautiful pinacotheque, preserving a lot of masterpieces. There was the water falling down, even from the fruits and the grapes above, and here from these two frogs, creating a kind of veil above the bronze. It was very beautiful. Now it's been closed to preserve the bronze because it's been restored 2 years ago. And in Siena we call it not the Fountain of Abundance because it's I don't know, it's not so Sienese. We like to call the city with the other names, so we call it the Fountain of Frogs or the Fountain of Cast Breast. You see, this woman is very flourish, we have to say, it's just flourishing. I think it's very beautiful. And Fulvio Corsini realized a lot of statues, a lot of sculptures in Siena in the beginning of the last century. Thank you for your attention. Stay with us. So Siena Info and Tours and Place2B. And thank you. I'm Giulia. Bye-bye.